But I want to jump into Halloween. So Halloween is this Sunday, right? Sunday, I believe. And I've already kind of teased, if you're 3 bags into Halloween candy already, or you're noticing that you've had an insane amount of candy and the day isn't even here, that we need to start to try and think about ways that we can do a little bit better, right? So we're going to have a lot of holidays coming up, and fortunately for my previous job in marketing, marketing likes to tell you that Halloween started at the beginning of October. If you go to even like Sam's Club right now, it's full of Christmas stuff. And so we're going to start lumping into this idea of holidays. Holidays are single days, right? If we count them, there are 4 days in the next 66 till 2022 starts. That's only less than 5% of the days remaining this year. And instead, people want to try and stretch those out, right? They want to say, oh, it's the holidays, I'll start at the beginning of the year. Or, have all of these days where you're trying to do better or lump it all together when it's single days. So how can we do a couple things, starting specifically with Halloween this week, to put boundaries and rules and ideas in place, thinking forward, so that we don't just have this 66 days of just terrorizing our bodies and then hoping that January 1st that we get something going, right? So first up with Halloween, if you follow me on Instagram, which I hope you do because I put a lot more content there than I push over to Nude Nation, I buy stuff that I don't like, right? So this is a boundary. Chuck has a big sweet tooth. He's a big candy guy. He's constantly chewing on something, but fortunately for me, if it's not chocolate, I'm not really interested. So, if he buys Skittles or Red Hots or any of those things that I think are pretty garbage, I'm not worried about it. Well, the same with Halloween candy. So the other day when I was in Walgreens, I'm not going to just be like, oh, tell the whole world that, nutrition is important and I'm not going to give out candy, or I'm going to be one of those people that gives out carrots. Like, whatever. Kids and parents can make their own rules. But what I did was buy things that I'm not interested in, right? So I buy sweet tarts and all those crazy little funny mixes, and I just don't even really care about them. The next thing, other than, not being tempted by that, I have these keywords that I need to remember. Make it undesirable. Okay, undesirable. This is a James Clear Atomic Habits thing. So to me, not desirable. Had a Skittle the other day, was like, not really worried about it. Also making them invisible. So I'm gonna give you a little walk through my house. I'm in our little side room. But if you go into our kitchen right now, there is nothing here that's tempting to me, right? So look behind, because I'm not sure how to change the camera. If you look around our kitchen, there's nothing sitting out, right? There's a food scale, boop. There's just pots and pans. There's nothing out in the open. Okay, so all of our food is kept, kind of in this area. And we have this one cabinet that we haven't really figured out how to use. So watch out, it's a little messy. But this is where I have all the candy, right? So World Market, I left it in the bag because I don't even need to see what it is. And then I've got the stuff that I bought from Walgreens the other day. In a spot that we don't ever go to, it's in a closed cabinet, so it's not tempting. It's not just sitting out on the counter. Because again, if maybe you are a Skittles person and when I just said it, you're like, oh, I want Skittles now. If I hadn't said it, if you hadn't seen it, if you hadn't been exposed to it, you probably wouldn't have even questioned or thought about it, right? You're thinking about the carrots that I just mentioned. So making it undesirable, things that I don't like, making it invisible, keeping it there. And then I think I had one other word. Oh, boundaries. Okay. So then creating boundaries for yourself. So again, if we look forward, we can plan for things that could become an obstacle, right? Sometimes the obstacle is the way. So maybe you have kids and they're going to come home with all of this stuff. So put a boundary between you and them. First, you are not a child. This is not for you. The candy is not for you. But you can maybe have your kids sort. I loved what Abby said in here. She said that she gives each of her kids one bag of some sort. Maybe it's a sandwich bag, maybe it's a quart, whatever size you want to use. They get to fill that and the rest goes in the trash, right? So that's a boundary for them to say, you don't just have all of this stuff laying around all of the time. You pick out your favorites, fill this bag, and that's what you get. Also keeps a boundary between you and it, because that's not for you. That ain't yours, right? Another thought, going into the office. How many of you guys work in an office, maybe COVID, maybe not, where people bring in the stuff that they wanted to get out of their house? So they're like, oh, I don't need this around. I'm going to bring it into the office and I'm going to eat that. Maybe you've done it before. Think about what you're doing. Not only are you bringing something that tempts you to work with you, where you're trying to, instead of being away from it, it's out there in the public, but you're also encouraging people to do the same thing, right? And so maybe we need to lead by example. I remember when I used to work in an office, it was I had a cube. It was a little cube farm, and there was a filing cabinet next to me where people would put things up. Well, I'm not very tall. I'm only 5'3", right? So I would not even pay attention to it, wouldn't look at it, wouldn't wonder what's in those bags. And then I'd have these little women walk over and go, oh, look, chocolate covered. And I'm like, can you keep that to yourself? I was not thinking about it. I was not interested. My little chocolate tooth hadn't popped up until you said something about it, right? So I actually appreciated the people who put it in the break room, because if I wasn't going out of my way to get there, I wasn't just going to walk by it, right? This little filing cabinet was right there in the open. Then you hear them, getting all their little snacks and getting into it. And I'm like, knock it off. But I would hear something like, I don't know, oh, Twizzlers. And I'm like, not really worried about it, right? So again, it's putting stuff out there that you're not interested in. But more importantly, maybe it's, does candy really go bad? So maybe all the stuff that you have left over, you package up and you put it away with your Halloween decor, so that next year you've got all this candy that you don't have to buy again, or find a kid in the neighborhood that maybe didn't get a chance to go out and give it to them, or be bold about what you want for yourself and throw it away. Listen, I am cheap. I hate wasting things. It's probably why, if you guys watch what I eat, it looks like a garbage can, because I basically go through our fridge and just dump it out. Throw it away. If it is going to bother you, if it is going to hang over you, get rid of it. Use that one time where we talk about this. Willpower is like a muscle. You have that 1 second, that one last rep, put it in the trash can. Get rid of it. Maybe enlist someone in your house to say, hey, at the end of the night, I need you to throw that away. I need you to go ruin it. I need you to go put it underneath the dog poop in the trash can outside. I need you to get it out of this house, and don't even let them let you get to it, right? So we're creating boundaries. We're making it really hard. Unless you're going to go out into the garbage and dig it out from under the dog poop, you ain't having it, right? Other kind of things, I've never thought about this before, but maybe your kids come home and you have something else and you recycle the candy. You give it to something else, or you roll it into some other option. But if you know, which I know, that chocolate is something that I can't have around, think about now how to make a boundary between you and it, to make it invisible, to make it undesirable. Dog poop trash can. To get it out of the house, right? Part 2 of this, think about that it's October 31st, and then you're going to wake up on November 1st. What do you want to start that next morning, that Monday, when you're fired up and you want to do something better? How can you make a promise to yourself now that on that Monday morning, you're going to do whatever? You know it's going to be in the office. So what can you do about it? Can you get your coworkers on the same page that you're not going to do that? Can you start talking to people about, I hate when people bring in all this leftover stuff. I'm not interested in it. Or send it with someone else. Maybe it bothers you, but maybe your spouse or whoever isn't that into it. And so you're like, hey, you take this to your job. You do whatever, whatever it is. Think about different options that you have. Be a little creative. Drop it down here. I would love for you guys to comment below on what you're going to do, how you're going to change this for yourself, because I'm only one brain, right? I only know what has come to me. So think about some other options for you, and let's talk about it. which leads me into then the new challenge. So we did this last year. I'm saying new, it's not really new, but if you did it with us last year, it was super fun. It's a great way to keep you motivated during this holidays season. Remember, it's less than 5%. It's 4 of 66 days. But it's called the 100 kilometer challenge, I'm pretty sure it is. KMC kilometer challenge. Yes. Anyways, so between the day after Thanksgiving and Christmas Eve, it's getting 100,000 kilometers, which is like, I think a little over a mile a day, something like that. It's really not that much when you break it up. So super fun last year. It basically gave you a target to say, get out each day and go through this. If you guys did it last year, comment below, let us know how much fun it is, because I know people are already excited that they got the email, gave them something to do. It's pretty cool. You do pay for it. It's not something that I run. It's something outside, and we can put together a Nude Nation group. And as a team, we can actually win prizes. As an individual, you can win prizes. If you sign up between now and November 15th, it's $40. It goes up to $55 if you wait for the end of it. But it's cool. You had this worldwide leaderboard where we can get on and see how everyone's doing. I remember even last year, people were watching each other's stats and they were like, oh, I'm going to go get so-and-so, or she's going to see me running by her house in the morning, or, all sorts of silly things. But it gives you something to do during the holidays where you feel like everything is against you. People are bringing in food. You're having 4 family parties because you have all this different stuff. Let's at least have a movement goal and a movement challenge locked in place that you're like, yep, paid money for it, going to put my money where my mouth is. And then we can talk through the nutrition part of it too. So I will post a link down below if you guys want to go ahead and jump on board and sign. I keep talking about comment, like, share. Guys, the more that we tell each other that we're doing something, the more this whole group gets better. So if you have someone else that you want to do with you, invite them to this group, comment that you are in on it, let us know what your plans are. Make some plans and tell us what you're going to do between now and Sunday, and even starting Monday. It's going to be November 1st. This is kind of funny. I'm running kind of cool. So I've had a little goal here recently. I'm running a Disney, they're called Disney Marathon. So a challenge next weekend. It's a 10K on Friday and a half marathon on Saturday and Sunday, back-to-back days. I thought it would count towards the 100-meter challenge, but it ain't. So got my goat there. I was looking forward to it, but should be a fun time. Okay. Appreciate you guys. Kind of starting to ramble. Create boundaries. Make it undesirable. Make it invisible. Enlist someone to help you get it out. Enlist your coworkers, your spouse, your kids, whatever it is. Let me know what you're going to do. Get it out of the house. It's one day. And you're grown. It's not for you. All right, y'all. Have a good rest of your day. See you.